Pick us up.
Yes.
Hello?
Mute, please, mute. Welcome everyone to the 6th Annual Black Sustainability Summit. Thank you for joining us. My name is Yema Brewer. I'll be moderating this session. I'm co-founder of Black Sustainability, Inc. Take a moment to trust and verify disclaimer about all of our presentations today. This session is Ways of Our Ancestors, the Remix. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Sustainable Community Solutions Network, the Collard Greens Festival, Adiki, Black Handcraft, the Eco Womanist Institute, and we will have some time for Q&A. At the end, we'll get started though, since we are a little behind. I'll turn it over to our speaker today. Sister Boosie.
Is it okay?
Yes, please do get started.
Thank you so much. Greetings, everyone. My name is Boosie Peters-Morn, and I am the founder of WOO Women Healing and Empowering Women. We are a reentry program based in Houston. It's a 501c3, and we are reentry focusing on melanin-dominant women, indigenous women, looking at intersectionalities of domestic violence and homelessness. And we have several programs to address these issues that are pertaining to our women. And of course, one of those issues when it comes to sustainability, when we're talking about the earth and Mother Earth, that is women. As Wangari Maathai, the ancestor from Kenya, who did the Greenbelt movement, would say that women are connected to the earth and they need to know the importance of their sustainability around the earth. So the name of the project, the discussion and the program that our organization is going to be launching soon is called The Ways of Our Ancestors, the Remix. And the reason why we called it that is because this movement around sustainability has been hijacked by Europeans. It has been a movement that has always been the ways of our ancestors. They always knew to live small. They also always knew to live and be one in harmony with the earth. And they knew that most of our life should be living outside, not in a building, not in a house, but living one with the earth. And so as we hear this language around sustainability and going green, is a very disrespectful concept or statement to melanin dominant people and indigenous people when their ancestors always knew these things, always knew that we have to be one with the earth. And so we wanted to make sure that people in our community knew these truths, and that women that are coming from such volatile backgrounds, such as formerly incarcerated in domestic violence and homelessness, knew these truths, and that the real way to empower women is by teaching them how to take care of themselves. So we have the concept of modeling the Habitat for Humanity, where people build their own homes, but we're going to be building yurts and mud houses that Europeans today have rebranded and calling cob houses. We're going to have and focus on round because that's what our ancestors did. It makes more sense. It's more ecologically, it makes more sense ecologically in terms of allowing the heat or whatever to the heat or cold to be able to go through the house and not get caught or trapped in corners. It makes more sense as well from an energetic standpoint. I think that, you know, we shouldn't be living in boxes. I think that the lines and the boxes that we live in has affected the way we connect to each other. The secular thing in terms of us as a people and connectedness is a part of the aesthetics that helps us to stay grounded and connected together and connected to the earth, connected to our ancestors, connected to Mother Earth and Father Sky. And so I would be remiss to not say that today in Houston, the organization National Black United Front, we normally do a caravan to the ancestors. So we're wearing all white. After this is over, we're gonna go to the waters in honor of our ancestors. And I thought it was just divine that, of course, that the Black Sustainability Summit would be on the same day that we're honoring our ancestors. And one of the best way to honor our ancestors is connecting back to the earth, realizing that cutting grass is not sustainable. Instead of cutting grass and using water for manicured lawns, we should be growing food. Instead of wasting energy and time on spending money for electricity, we should invest in solar panels. We can get rainwater collection tanks. We have a couple that builds rainwater collection tanks that are going to be working with us. And we plan on being fully off the grid, growing food, building our homes, and being fully sustained and going back to the ways of our ancestors. So I am so honored to have been asked to be here. I'm in Houston, as I stated, we're an hour ahead of East Coast. So we had to get ourselves ready. And I was so grateful that the light came out because initially it was dark. So the light came out and I am in front of my house. This was an orange tree right behind me that had been here for years, but because of the freeze that happened, destroyed most of the citrus trees in Houston. And so the Ways of Our Ancestors, the remix is a reminder of why Mother Earth, because I don't know how many of you, I guess, I don't know who would not know what happened this year in Houston with the freeze and what happened in terms of the grid and deregulation and that kind of disrespect to the people, where you had people whose electric bills shot up to $16,000, right? So when we have solar panels, we don't have to be exploited like that. For the people who were living off the grid in Houston, they were not affected. They didn't deal with rolling blackouts. My family had to deal. We were very fortunate, but we did not. We were affected by rolling blackouts for just one day. There were people who went weeks without it, and these are reminders. As we see the earth right now, Mother Earth is retaliating against us for the way that we have been disrespecting her. And so, if we go back to living simple with the earth, using natural resources like mud and sand to build homes, or yurt houses, which are around and they're from Mongolia over 500 years, that these types of ways of living have been existing. So I'm gonna close it out right now, and that is the essence of the work that we're doing. We're looking for support around the work that we're doing in terms of the funding to be able to provide the resources and the materials to and the land and all those things to manifest the Ways of Our Ancestors, the remix. And one of those ways is through selling T-shirts that promotes those ideas and concepts as well. So one of the T-shirts that we have, it has here, "Don't tell me to go green. When we were born green," and on the back it says, "Know thyself, the real sustainability," because the real sustainability is when we know who we are and we know how we are connected to this earth, and that we don't allow Europeans, who are largely responsible for the issues that we're going through right now in terms of the earth's retaliation to us for being disrespectful to her. So thank you so much. You have a blessed one. If there are any questions or who else needs to speak.
Okay, you all, we have about 10 more. You can ask questions directly. You can unmute and ask any questions. Anyone from our audience here, or leave us in the chat.
Greetings all, Grand Rising. This is Roz. I wanted to ask the sister where I can make a monetary donation.
You can make a monetary donation to our Cash App, and using the phone number is 713-208-4376. And once you do, you would see a dollar sign and it would say Woo Women Healing.
Is that info also on your website?
Yes.
Okay.
And you could, if there's any issues, you could also email me, and I would, if there's any problems that you're finding, I would redirect you. And our email address is WHEW2DAY@gmail.com. Again, that's WHEW2DAY@gmail.com. Or you can reach us also at WHEWNOWORG123@gmail.com. That's WHEWNOWORG123@gmail.com.
Give thanks.
Are there any other questions?
I just wanted to greet you, my sister, and thank you for the work that you're doing. And my question has to do with, this is a women's organization, right?
Correct.
And
correct. It is a women's organization in which the direct services, when we started the organization, we chose to focus first on community service because the issues are within our whole families, right? And our women usually have partners, they normally have children, we have community. So we wanted to start by first addressing community service issues by looking at what colonization and the fallout of our ancestors being in captivity has done to us as a people, starting with the raping us, physically raping our people. When we talk about the Me Too movement, is #MeToo and all our ancestors, because that is what built this country. They started off with using us as commodities on this earth. And so they raped us, raped our women, our men, our children, and they raped the earth, right? And so we were addressing those issues and how it related to the choices that we make today, how we were the first people being trafficked, and now you have big bodies still being trafficked today, and they're not connecting those dots. So now we have moved into the realm of addressing the direct services, because most organizations who are reentry programs that deal with the issues that we deal with, they all too often want to maybe provide training for work, maybe some classes, housing, and things of that nature, but it's really a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, where we're not addressing the issues that at the root of women in prison is molestation, rape, and incest. That's the root. So we were addressing how that affects our mental and emotional state. How does that affect one's ability to make healthy choices, attract healthy people into their lives? And so we use the arts to address these issues by using film, we use drumming, we use song, dance, all those things. And everyone in the community were invited to these different events, our town halls, our workshops, and our conferences. But now we're starting to embark on direct services where we want to provide now for them housing and provide the skills and things of that nature, while we still continue to address the inner work, because we have to do the inner work before we do the outer work. And so that's where we're at this stage, to continue to do the inner work while now starting to do the outer work around the direct services. And with the direct services, that would be only for the women, only for women. But the community service was for everyone to come and to share, so that we could educate and eradicate behavior.
Okay, so what part of Houston are you located? I have a daughter there.
I'm based in right now, I'm in historical Sunnyside. It's a historical melanin dominant community that many people after the emancipation was living in this community. I am originally from, as the hip hop generation would say, from the Boogie Down Bronx, New York. I came to Houston straight out of high school and did undergrad and graduate school. I came here to go to HBCU, Texas Southern University, the alma mater of Barbara Jordan, as well as Mickey Leland, two giants and ancestors. And they the school itself was located in the historical 3rd Ward. So I came here at 18 years old, and most of my time in Houston has been between historical 3rd Ward, as well as now Sunnyside. I moved here with my husband and and we have 2 daughters, and raising them in the Sunnyside section of Houston. And we're focusing on 3rd Ward and Sunnyside in terms of the local work that we're doing. We're starting local, going global with this work.
Okay, so you meet, how often do you meet?
How often do we meet?
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're doing a once a month meeting. There is a movement called the Be a Ripple Sexual Healing Grief movement that we are working on right now. It is a movement to address the issues around women. And we're using this poem by Bea Richards. It's titled A Black Woman Speaks of White Womanhood, White Supremacy, and Peace. And we are addressing the issues of how women, in terms of having true, authentic relationships, is very challenging for us to do that because of the historical aspects of what happened to us in this country. With the colorism, the issues around true relationships of internalized hatred and internalized racism, and the way we show up with women of other ethnicities, and the way it affects us with European women as well, who want to come into the fold. We have this, we're building on the work that we've done in the past, in which we focus, all the work we do, we focus on relationships, because you can do nothing without relationships. And the most important relationship is the one with self, because it affects the relationship with everyone else outside of us. And so we had our orientation in August for the Be a Ripple, and we're using giving birth as a symbolism for the change that we want to see in the world. It culminates in April 23rd and 24th. On the 23rd, we're going to Galveston, Texas, and we're doing a sexual healing grief ritual there to address the fact that our ancestors were forced to have sex with each other without any spiritual soul ties to one another, and how it connects to this day. There were sex farms, there were breeding farms in this country, and we have not done any spiritual work to be specific and intentional around addressing that. And so when we do that, we want to also be intentional around it, of asking for the healing of the earth and the rape that has happened and continues to happen to Mother Earth, because she has been raped and she continues to be raped, as well as us. And we have to connect those two together. So we have the Connect the Dots workshop that we do periodically, as well as now with the Be a Ripple movement, we're meeting once a month on Sundays. And we're giving birth in April, because April is Sexual Healing, Youth Being Trafficking Awareness Month. And so we're going to culminate everything on April 23rd and 24th. We're doing a performance to respond to the poem by Bea Richards, and show our own interpretation of that by any form of artistic expression all the participants choose, whatever one chooses.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Sister Boosie. We have put your website in the chat. We really appreciate you presenting with us this year.
Thank you. It was an honor.
We want to talk to you just on behalf of the Black Sustainability Inc. I definitely want to talk more, because we really want to bring these conversations, continue them, and with our membership in our industry houses, which you will fall under the community development piece, the culture, community governance. This is very much a part of it. The mainstream sustainability movement is not talking about the spiritual connections with land, with our communities. It's all part of it. But we represent that. So we're centering culture in this sustainability space. So thank you again. The website is in the chat. It's on the website, our website, so people can get in touch with you. Thank you again, everyone. I want everybody to catch the next session. So we are going to close this one.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you once again. It was an honor. It was a blessing. I'm so grateful to Nana for introducing me to the organization and the work that you all are doing. And I'm so blessed to be a part of it now and have a family, a global family that's doing this work to network with and together.
Thank you.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It was an honor.